I want to start this on a personal note. I grew up just outside of Flint, Michigan, and now I live just outside of Detroit. So when I talk about an economic collapse, industrial decline, reinvention, and adaptation, this is not theory for me. This is the air I breathed growing up. And this is what the landscape taught me. I watched what happens when entire systems break down in real time. And you know what always makes me smile a little? People talk about Detroit like it's some kind of failed experiment, like it's broken, like it's something to avoid. But if you have actually lived here, worked here, and watched it over decades, you realize something very different. That Detroit is not behind America. Detroit is early. It's just experienced the future before the rest of the country was ready for it. See, this region went through something most of the country has not faced yet all at once. Industrial collapse, job evaporation, population loss, tax base erosion, infrastructure decay, crime spikes, psychological trauma, institutional distrust. Whole neighborhoods emptied out. Whole identities vanished. If your dad worked at the plant and the plant disappeared, your entire sense of who you were disappeared with it. And that's not just economics. That's a nervous system shock on a citywide level. And when systems collapse fast, humans reveal who they really are. Some people freeze. Some people numb out. Some people get bitter. Some get creative. Some people get dangerous. But some people get brilliant. And Detroit became a laboratory of human adaptation. You could literally see collapse and innovation living on the same block. What most outsiders miss is what came next. After the collapse came pockets of reinvention. Artists moved into empty buildings. Entrepreneurs started hacking broken systems. Urban farmers turned vacant land into food. And here's the one that people really overlook. Maker spaces started popping up inside old factories. Basically community workshops where normal people could access industrial-grade tools like 3D printers, CNC machines, welding rigs, electronics labs. Instead of waiting for a big corporation to hire them, people started building their own ideas, prototyping products, launching small manufacturing, teaching each other real technical skills. Old factories stopped stamping car parts and started forging ideas. That is a quiet kind of rebirth that most headlines never notice. It's messy. It's not polished and it's not pretty, but it's real. Bottom-up rebuilding instead of top-down perfection. And here's the part that really matters. America is now walking into a similar phase. Automation is displacing jobs. AI is reshaping entire industries. Retail is collapsing. Office real estate is hollowing out. Debt loads, insane. Trust in institutions is thin. Attention is fragmented at best, and mental health is strained. People feel economically insecure, even when the numbers look fine on paper. Now, if you grew up anywhere near Detroit or Flint, this feels familiar. You've already seen this movie, because the pattern looks like this. First comes collapse, then comes confusion, then comes adaptation, then come innovation pockets, then comes uneven rebirth. Not everything recovers evenly. Some neighborhoods surge, some stay hollow. Some reinvent themselves entirely, while some disappear. That patchwork future is what America's moving into. And psychologically, this matters even more than economically, because when old systems stop working, people either cling harder to dying identities or they evolve. Some chase nostalgia and blame. Some numb themselves with dope and dopamine. Some wait for permission that never comes. Some rebuild themselves from the inside out. Growing up around collapse trains you differently. You learn to live without guarantees. You learn to improvise. You learn to trust networks over institutions. You learn to spot opportunity inside broken systems. And you learn emotional resilience the hard way. Now, in my opinion, that mindset is about to become mainstream necessity. Detroit also teaches you something uncomfortable but powerful, that collapse strips illusions fast. You stop believing in permanent jobs. You stop believing in perfect systems. You stop believing someone is coming to save you. You start believing in skills, relationships, adaptability, resilience, creativity. You become more internally anchored, and that's exactly what the next economy will reward. And here's where this quietly connects to consciousness. When external stability disappears, internal stability becomes everything. If you can't regulate your nervous system, uncertainty can eat you alive. If you cannot control attention, chaos can control you. And if you cannot adapt identity, you get stuck in resentment or fear. If you cannot self-direct, algorithms and institutions will direct you. Detroit forced people to confront reality early. America's about to do the same. Honestly, I think Detroit is one of the most honest regions in the country because it doesn't pretend to be something that it isn't. And it doesn't polish pain. And it shows you what happens when systems break and humans must adapt. It's not broken, it's experienced. And that's why I believe Detroit is a preview of the future of America. Not dystopian, not utopian. Adaptive, messy, creative, uneven, resilient, human. And that's also why Boom Dopamine Shift exists, because the future does not reward comfort. It rewards conscious adaptation, learning how to regulate yourself, learning how to think in systems, learning how to build internal stability, learning how to create opportunity instead of waiting for it. Detroit learned that lesson the hard way. Now the rest of the country gets the crash course. Thanks for listening. I'm grateful you're here. This is JD. Peace.